Hello AOS fans, Robin here, and I'm back again with an FAQ. One that seems to have come up time and time again on the Facebook forum, so I thought I'd try my best to answer it. And it's one that pertains mainly to the Skaven or the Sepulchral Guard warbands, because it involves what happens when fighters return from out of action. So obviously the Skaven can return to the board, and the Sepulchral Warden can bring back some of the Sepulchral Guard back to the board. And what happens to their cards and tokens when they return to the battlefield seems to be causing an amount of consternation. Starting with the cards, which is probably the most important bit. So any upgrades that have been played on the Skaven or Sepulchral Guard that is returned, what happens to them? Do they get binned when they die, or do they stay with them? Well, the answer to this question is right at the bottom of page 23 in brackets, and it says, though they keep any upgrades they have when they are taken out of action. And that's really the key. They keep any upgrades they have when they are taken out of action. So if you are returned back to action, then you keep your upgrades. It really is as simple as that. So that's the answer to the main part of the question, is if you've got great strength or great fortitude or something like that on your character that's brought back, then they keep it. More confusing are the tokens. And if a card has returned, so if a card is already charged and is returned, can it charge again? The rules do say that the tokens are removed, and that is the case, but the tokens are only there as a guide. They're not actually like the upgrade that becomes part of the character. But that actually seems to be beside the point. So that rule is slightly confusing, as it would seem that the correct ruling for this is that if a returned model has already charged, then it may not charge again in that round. So if it's already used its charge activation, then it cannot attack or move, which is a little bit counterintuitive. Now, an official ruling on this is actually quite hard to come by. It seems to be accepted practice that if you have already charged and you come back, you can't charge again. And it does counter that. In the FAQ, it specifically says that you can remove all the counters. So that seems a little bit counterintuitive. But if you look on page 18, under activations in bold, it says, note that each fighter can only make one move or charge action in an action phase. If a fighter has already made a move action in an action phase, they cannot also make a charge action in the same phase. So you mark that fighter with a move or a charge token. The current way of thinking is that although you do remove the tokens, you still can't, when you die, when you're returned, you still can't charge or move if you've already moved, or if you've charged, you can't be activated again. That seems to be the official ruling because of that paragraph. I think there isn't an official, oh yes, you definitely can't do anything when you are returned with counters. But there you go. Still a little bit up in the air, but I think that is the accepted way of playing at the moment. If you disagree, then do put something in the comments. I have to say, now I've looked into it, I'm not as convinced as I was that was the case, but I do think at the moment, you cannot, if you have activated a charge activation, you cannot activate again, or if you've already moved, you cannot move again. It seems to be the current accepted thinking. So, anyway, the main thing about this is that when you come back, you do keep your upgrades. So if your champion comes back with his great strength or whatever, he keeps it. So that's the main part of this FAQ. I hope that was useful, and I did get a little bit bogged down in the description of the counters, but hopefully it was useful to you. If do comment if you disagree or could shed any light on it, and if you have any other questions you'd like answered, then please do put that in the comments too. So until next time, happy Shadespiring. Bye.